did this Eldorado Red even get off of charges? How did this judge even let him go? There's something going on with that Eldorado Red. He's supposed to be in prison for this thing that they did to that little fat. Yet he's not in prison. He's been released. I was one to say release him in the beginning, but now I'm saying to send him back. We don't need this guy in the streets, these Eldorado Reds. No, I changed. I've seen what it's like with these guys. These ones like an Eldorado Red. And they're not good. They're not good business. There's a lot of people getting hurt on that, you know. Eldorado Red. Bambino Gold. He's missing. He's never been seen again. That was one of the friends to this Eldorado Red. Now, Alley Boy, that's a whole different story. But R.I.P. to that trouble. We seen their family pick at each other incestually. You had Bambino get picked up. They ate at him like barbecue ribs. And that's what Eldorado used to say. Something with like barbecue ribs. And then we seen them. Actually, they ate Lil Fat first. And then they ate Bambino. And then they just all had this big trouble meal. It was all a bunch of trouble. There was all this trouble going on. And Trouble DTE got eaten. From my law enforcement experience, I'd say it had to be his own brother. It had to be his own brother, Alley Boy, as well as the Eldorado nigga. And in my white voice, I would say that Eldorado character. Obviously, it was. I mean, just listen how I was iterating the statement, and when I said barbecue ribs, and that's one of Eldorado's big things in his songs was them or something about those he eats niggas like barbecue ribs or something like that. So that's how I know for sure he's the guilty one. I mean, look at this. Wow. I never seen it. Okay. Trouble in them. I was mad because they messed up my credit. I was at this Airbnb and they all came in and all that, and I had to leave because it was getting too dangerous. And it cost me big money. It wasn't big money, but I ended up having to max my credit card out to $300. I just got accepted for a credit card, and these guys all pull up like I'm some rich guy when I just have my new Capital One. They break in my house because I never gave permission. This was like 3 or 4 years ago or something. And they maxed my credit out. So then it's been years or whatever, and then trouble or whatever. Now Trouble's dead. There's some mad ass people. And I know about them. Trust me, I'm untouchable. That's why I came back to Canada years ago. Young Thug went to jail. So now with Stacks and Millie's career, they're pretending there's some kind of like investigation that I'm going to beat or whatever and all that. Even though the only white thing I've ever been guilty of possessing is one of these hot fudge sundaes or vanilla ice cream. Big fan of vanilla ice cream. Big shout out to wasn't her name? Oh, Candace. She loved my Big Mac, and she's got a lot of videos herself too. Candace. And earlier I said, "Wow, look at all the food she eats or whatever." And like she's got Arby's, she's got Jersey Mike's, she's got Five Guys, she's got Vicky, she's got Papa John, she's got Chinese food, she got Applebee's. I had Applebee's. I had all this before. But I never had Cuban guys. I never had Cuban guys. And then I found out, oh, she's in South Florida. Born and raised Miami-Dade County. She has 2 kids, which is different for me because I'm an adult that's never had a girlfriend and I've never had kids. So it's like I'm just starting to like become a man and all that. Whereas some adults, they have 2 kids and all that. But that's how it is. And look, she has 121,000 views. You can learn from her and all that too. Down home eating. There's a lot to learn from her. Her name's Candace Williams. I think she's related, believe it or not, to that Rick Ross, because his last name's Williams too. Yep, she may be. Papa John's, I haven't had them in a while. Dunkin' Donuts. She's got a lot of good ones. Anyway, she's one of my biggest fans. She actually comments. And then the cool thing about her is she actually has her own videos. There's Checkers. There's Checkers. Painkillers. I think I tried to show that. Painkillers. Miami Grill. You know, I never even been to Miami much. The only time I went to Miami was, and God bless Miami, but in that building that went down there, I can't believe that it's real war like that. That one of those buildings down in Miami. But I'll tell you what, it was because I know the exact reason. It was because Rick Ross and Gunplay came up to Canada back in 2000 and whatever. So the Chinese government threw a missile at your building or whatever because it was found under Chinese law that, I don't know if you know, but North Korea and Japan and China and all that, they're all together. And when they were firing missiles over the Sea of Japan, they decided to strike Miami in turn for a murder that happened up in Canada. The boys from Florida, which is right here, okay, right across the Pacific Ocean. Everyone knows Rick Ross was from Miami, but then he moved to Georgia. But he had this other guy named Gunplay. And he came up for like a movie show, a bunch of shows. And when he came up to Canada, he was robbing people and he was hurting Asian people. They had all this thing. So that is why there has been a war against North Korea and China, and Miami's building got struck. You say, what Miami building? This is the guy that caused it. His name's Gunplay Don Logan. I know the whole history of it. He home invaded this girl named Susie. He said it in, and when he home invaded her, who was John Gotti's wife, he said, if this is war. And then they proceeded to work out a plan to kill Susie, where eventually Susie was killed in a homicide. So that's why there has been a declaration of war that was put against Miami. And then that is when North Korea sent a missile. That was a missile. As you can see, the missile hit right here, just like in Ukraine or anything like that. And that is when the U.S. was punished. Funny thing, because the U.S. thinks they're impeccable. Same with Rick Ross. One of Rick Ross's most famous line was impeccable. This was obviously a missile. I mean, look at that damage, that missile damage. Wow. Yep, they managed to hit a building. And you know what that was about? And there was people that died. That was because Gunplay and Rick Ross, the U.S. Marshals, have yet to take this Rick Ross to jail, and everyone knows he's a criminal and all that. So Asians say we didn't like the way he came up to Canada and killed our I don't think Obama